Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to the November 8th spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Marlena Evans grinned when she saw the bouquet of flowers John Black sent her and the note he wrote expressing his excitement for a celebration tonight. In an attempt to find Brady Black, Kristen DiMera stormed in and chose to wait for him at the townhouse. Kristen used that as an opportunity to make fun of Marlena for her husband's absence on the anniversary of their marriage, but Marlena insisted that John will return tonight. Belle Black Brady then arrived at the door and gave Marlena a hug during Friday's Days episode. Belle didn't bother to respond when Kristen asked if she and Sean Brady were still dating. Eventually, Andrew Donovan showed up with information about John's pressing ISA matter. John would not be home tonight after all since he was required to provide his unique expertise in Washington, D.C. John, however, wanted Andrew to give Marlena a gift and apologize for the timing. When Marlena opened the package, she was thrilled to see the personalized charm within. On Friday's Days, Brady and Johnny DiMera were getting ready for a family baseball game in the park when Narita surprised them. As it turns out, Paul changed his plans at the last minute to come back to town, but it's obvious he was unaware that Andrew was also in Salem. Tate Black stated he felt terrible about the entire affair when he ran into Holly Jonas in the town square. Tate's attempt to apologize for her suffering was cut off by Holly, who felt she had run out of things to say. Paul announced to everyone that he was going to pop the question to Andrew once Tate joined the park baseball game. Since they knew Andrew would say yes, Brady, Johnny, and Tate were all overjoyed for Paul. Kristen returned to the DiMera mansion after growing weary of waiting for Brady at the townhouse. When Paul arrived at the townhouse, he was surprised to see Andrew. Paul asked Andrew to marry him by dropping to one knee with the ring after deciding the time was appropriate. John shared some lovely phone talks with his loved ones after Andrew accepted and kissed Paul. On Friday's DOL episode, Julie Williams arrived at the Kiriakis estate with donuts to commemorate Maggie Kiriaki's own wedding anniversary. Maggie was also reassured by Sarah Horton that Victor Kiriakis was not present. Sarah and Maggie were shocked to hear that Katharina Green survived when Julie told them that Katharina Melionis Green was Kat Green's mother. Additionally, it was mentioned that Doug Williams had a winter cold, but Julie's attitude gave the impression that it was worse. Sarah, Maggie, and Julie delivered Holly motivational speeches about not giving up on love after she returned home looking depressed after her experience with Tate. Holly appeared happy with their optimistic forecasts for her love life and decided to never say never. Julie looked at their framed portrait after returning to the Horton home with chicken soup for Doug. Despite her worried expression, Julie forced a grin before carrying the lunch tray upstairs to Doug. Brady noted that Kristen indicated the other serum dose was almost ready when he came in with a surprise for Maggie. Since Kristen declined to give it to her because of Philip Kiriaki's Titan block, Sarah didn't understand how it would impact her. Furious with the news, Brady went to the DiMera estate and confronted Kristen about her dishonesty. It was a fantastic show that celebrated a significant milestone, and the episode concluded with a special message to commemorate Day's 59th anniversary. Stay tuned for more highs and lows in Salem, according to spoilers for Days of Our Lives. According to Thursday, November 7th spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Johnny DiMera reminded Chanel DiMera that she had forgiven him because she was still ignoring him. Nevertheless, Chanel found it difficult to forget the harsh things Johnny had said. Chanel accepted that it could have been worse and was relieved that neither of them had cheated when Johnny offered yet another sincere apologies. Johnny was afraid to admit that he had slept with Joy Wesley, even though he claimed to have something to tell Chanel. Johnny merely pledged that he would never again do something so terrible from this day on. Chanel approved of Johnny's suggestion to have brunch in the bar for supper. On Thursday's episode of Days, Joy concluded a meeting with Stephanie Johnson, Abigail Klein, at the town square and focused on Nancy Miller, Patrika Darbo, when she arrived. Nancy cautioned Joy not to sleep with the cast, crew, or anybody else on set now that she had the role, but she had to return to New York soon. Nancy was still curious about the wedding ring she discovered in Joy's suite, but her daughter didn't provide any information. Since Roman Brady rented rooms above the pub, Nancy also thought of a cheap place to stay, so she took Joy there. Chanel and Johnny were seated at a table together when Nancy and Joy came in. Nancy then mentioned that she wanted to rent Joy a room. Chanel also wanted to get to know the lady who was robbing her of her boyfriend, so she invited Nancy and Joy to join them. Although Joy and Johnny managed to hide it well enough, there was still a lot of tension between them, even if Chanel was obviously joking about Joy becoming Reagan Holloway. Gabby Hernandez placed her ring on the table at the Hernandez residence and informed Javi Hernandez that Stefan DiMera had left town after writing a farewell note for EJ DiMera. Just before Rafe Hernandez and Jada Hunter arrived with news of their engagement, Javi gave Gabby a reassuring hug. After receiving information about Vivian Alamain's imprisonment, Gabby implied that visiting Stefan would have been a waste of her trip. In the end, Gabby decided to set aside the issues surrounding her divorce and concentrate on assisting Jada and Rafe in their celebration on Thursday's episode. Jada and Rafe stayed home to get ready for their night out because Gabby wanted to do it at Small Bar. They commiserated about previous heartbreaks after Alex discovered Leo Stark, Greg Rickard, already in the pub. Alex had a heart-to-heart with Stephanie at a table after she finally arrived. Stephanie pretended that they couldn't defy Kate Roberts Brady's orders, despite her hinting that she would wish to be with Alex if circumstances changed. Despite their decision to resume their close friendship, Stephanie and Alex continued to gaze at one another as though they desired more. When he was back with Leo on Thursday's days, he began composing a romantic interest for himself on his laptop and desired he might meet a handsome single man. Javi abruptly took a seat next to Leo, which sparked a flirtatious conversation. After warning Javi to step away from the Stark, Gabby came up and took him aside in private. Javi was unmoved by Gabby's attempts to scare him with tales of Leo's previous actions. Later, Javi told Leo that Gabby was his cousin on Thursday's DOL show. Leo was certain that Gabby had been disparaging him, but Javi claimed he enjoyed a bad boy and wasn't easily intimidated. Leo requested Javi's number after implying that he liked him regardless of the type of boy he was. Later, Javi winked at Leo and texted him from the other side of the room. Stephanie saw the ring and congratulated Rafe and Jada on making it to the bar for some celebration. Although Gabby wanted to focus mostly on Rafe's happiness, she also opened up to Rafe about all the recent Stefan drama. According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Jada and Rafe still have some surprises in store for them, so stay tuned for our predictions on any obstacles that may arise. CDL is the place to be for amazing. Julie informed Sarah and Maggie that Kat Green's mother was Katharina Melionis Green, thus they were surprised to learn Katharina had survived. Furthermore, there was some speculation of Doug Williams having a winter cold, but Julie's mood made it appear worse. When Holly returned home, depressed from her Tate encounter, Sarah, Maggie, and Julie all encouraged her not to give up on love. Holly decided to never say never and appeared happy with their bright predictions for her romantic life. When Julie returned to the Horton residence with chicken soup for Doug, she looked at their framed portrait. Julie appeared uneasy, but she eventually smiled and carried the lunch dish up to Doug upstairs. When Brady came in with a gift for Maggie, he added that Kristen had stated the other serum dose was almost ready.